Hey, what's up? Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony. In this video we're painting the air tank from my Lowrider. Let me show you how we did it. Hey, how's it going? How are things? Welcome back. So what we're doing today is fairly self-explanatory from the clips you've just seen. We are going to paint or repaint my air tank. As you would have seen, let me just turn you around and show you. In previous episode, we painted that a long time ago, and then we were first bagging the car, put that pinstripe sticker on it. I've never been particularly happy with it. Even literally the second I put that on, I was like, no, I don't really like it. The dimensions aren't great, as in like the scale of it should have been wider, it should have been taller. So, and also the sticker isn't great. Well, it's not a bad quality, but like, it's just, I don't like that you can see the edge of it and all that shit there. But anyway, so what we're gonna do is pinstripe, for want of a better word, and lace pattern, a little bit of metal flake, kind of paint job on the tank. I've got a design put together, which I will put here. You can probably see that there. Looks something like that. So we've got a couple of different paints. We've got some matte black or glass black. We've got some lacquer white, nice kind of metal. It's not real metal flake, but it's like a glitter paint, gold, silver, bunch of masking tape, some nice lace for some of the lace pattern. I'll show you that properly later on. Dust covers, a couple of different sizes of tape for laying out the patterns, a couple of other little bits like that. So first thing I suppose is grab the heat gun, get that sticker off, mask up the water trap, the fitting there, the drain at the bottom, and rub back the whole tank. It's kind of a complicated process from what I bought. It's, well, not necessarily complicated, it's time consuming more than anything else. So as you saw in the picture there, the outline, for want of a better word, of the whole design is black. So what I need to do is rub back the tank, paint the tank black, mask off everything, mask off the outline essentially, then paint the tank white, then mask off the sections that I want to be silver, paint those silver, then mask off the sections that I want to have the lace and stuff like that, and then peel it all, and then clear coat the whole thing. So it's time consuming, from the looks of it at least anyway. But I've watched a lot of cool YouTube videos, guys that do similar stuff on a much bigger scale. A channel called Slickworks, some really good videos on it, and another channel, Far Away I think is what it was called. I'll put links to their channels below if you want to have a look at yourself. It's not that complicated, it's a lot of forward thinking and planning ahead and stuff like that. So I've gone over it in my head a bunch of times, so hopefully it'll come out okay. Never done it like this before, but never done anything like a lot of things before, and they've all turned out okay. So let's get the sticker off and let's get the tank painted black. Okay, so while that first coat of black, first little light coat is drying, I figure I'll go over this with you super quick. So yeah, there's a bit of glare there now, but I'm sure you can figure it out. So I have to paint the whole tank black, as we've just seen the first coat. Then I need to mask out all of these designs. It won't be as simple as it is there. You kind of have to mask it square and mark it even, and then you kind of trim it as you go, if that makes sense. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing in regards to how thick any of that is, but there will be a couple of varying thicknesses in it. Like, you know, there'll be an extra little thinner piece in there, or say like this outside line here might be 6 mil, This one in here might be 3. I'm not entirely sure what I'll do yet, something to that effect. But for argument's sake, once the tank is painted black, I can leave all that mask in there, or sorry, paint the tank black, mask that, leave that mask in there, then paint the whole tank white, then mask off whatever I want to be silver, paint that silver, then mask off what was the silver, then do the white, and then do the lace on top of it with the gold, and then peel everything. I may not have this section here at the bottom. I don't think there'll be any need for it. I'm not entirely sure yet. I might just, there might be enough in just that. There will be no design on the back of the tank, like back here. Obviously there's no point because you'll never see it, like, but realistically I'll probably have the design come to maybe about there. I'm not certain yet, because like you'd always be looking at the tank in the car, say at that kind of angle, so there's no point having the fancier part of the design all the way down here. So maybe say that section where most of the stuff is going on in the design, the busier part of it just there will probably be there. So that will be the center point of it, and it'll kind of roll back. So those scrolls, these guys here, would probably be say there and there. I'm not entirely certain yet. I may even have to be changing up this design as I go, because I just drew that based on a template that I got off I just googled 4 gallon or whatever it is, 5 gallon airlift tank, and see how much space is there. It may have to be simplified a little bit. I'm not really sure, but I'll figure something out. Can kind of see what I was trying to explain. So there's a lot of, like I said, this has taken quite a while, because I don't really know exactly what I'm doing, like, but also because there's a lot to it. I am changing the design a little bit as I go, but you can definitely see where I'm headed with it. I'm using the yellow tape just as kind of to get an equal spacing without having to be measuring and messing around too much, you know. But without it, you can definitely see the idea kind of coming together. From here, actually no, from back here, some of it looks really wonky, but actually looking at it in person and looking at it directly, it looks fine. And as you would be looking at it in the car from there, it looks really nice. So I have, say, that spike, for want of a better word, done, the line under it and the next one under it getting done. I don't think I'm going to have it as elaborate as all the different layers that's in there. I don't think I'll get away with it. So the next thing I want to try and start mapping out, because I do want to have these scrolls in it. I really like the look of those, but it's getting very close to where I really like this section as well, that kind of zigzag sort of piece. So I'm in 2 minds as to which one I'm going to try and go for. I might try one side with the scroll idea and see if I can get away with it. If not, I might just do something a little bit more elaborate and maybe double up on some of these layers, leave out the scroll and have this piece or something. I'm not quite sure yet, but let's carry on and see. So far it's not super difficult, it's a lot of thinking ahead, you know. But yeah, we're getting there. Okay, update time again. You've been watching a lot of time lapse, I know, but it's interesting at least. So the bare bones of everything is done. I just need to cut out that center line there, that center line there. I'll take out that one. I might leave them there, I might turn them into something, I'm not quite sure yet, but excuse me, the bones of everything is there. I have done nothing at the back yet. Obviously you're not going to see the end of it, so I might literally just bring everything to a point and just one straight line across, because you're never going to see that anyway. But yeah, so the bones of it is there. So I think I'm going to carry on, see if I can make it a little bit more elaborate in a couple of places. Unfortunately, it would have been just too tight to try and get the scroll shapes into it. Like, I could narrow that whole middle section, but I want a lot of lace, say there, you know, a nice bit of the lace there, and then lace here and here as well. So the lace is the most important thing I want. I'm not too bothered about the rest, but or at least I can sacrifice it anyway. So we'll carry on another little bit of time lapse, and then we'll go to painting. Right, we're back, check-in time again. So all the pattern is done. Let's have a look. Now, I really like it. I'm a little bit disappointed I didn't get to put my scroll shapes in it, but essentially the same thing as what I had on the drawing is there. It's very, very close. So obviously that's the front. As I said, you'd be looking at it kind of from that angle. So that little kind of corner there, it's a bit kind of fucked up. I had to change that around a little bit, but it's okay. Rechanged a couple of things here and there, put an extra pinstripe front of it or in there, same down here, another little bit at the bottom. I wasn't going to go too elaborate with the back of it, but actually ended up going kind of fancy with the back. I really like the back. It's kind of a shame that you'll never see it, but if you watch, say, these two lines at the bottom here, and this line, the thicker line there, and the one beside it on each side, they come around and turn in and go into that. Do you know what I mean? So, and into there as well. So every line goes somewhere, if that makes sense. There's no lines that just disappear anywhere. And then on the bottom, I'll kind of delicately do this. You see at the bottom, these lines come around to there, go down to here, and join into that. So everything goes somewhere, which I think is important. Now, I know you won't see the back of it, but still, I think it's important that it, just composition wise, I guess, that everything goes somewhere. So yeah, so next thing now is to just double check all the tape and make sure none of it was kind of rolled back on itself, and make sure everything is fairly solid, and I guess paint everything white. So let's go. Right, we're back. First coat of white is down. Obviously just a nice light little coat. I think this is going to look fucking unreal. I can kind of see it in my head already. So yeah, looking good. We'll let that flash for a couple of minutes, and then we can do another coat. But oh, actually, one very, very important job before we do anything else. So the tank now has 3 coats of white on it. I think it looks good. I mean, it's no different really than it was before. So according to my calculations, I think what I need to do next is, I haven't 100% decided on what sections are going to be what colors or styles or whatever like that. So I think now is the time to obviously decide that. So I think what it's going to be, this section here is going to be white with the lace on it. This is going to be just silver sparkle. This will be just plain white on its own. This will be gold with the lace. This might be, this little pinstripe in here might be solid, just gold on its own. I need to figure all of that stuff out now, and I guess I need to mask what is staying white, and then I think I'll spray the silver, then mask over that and spray the gold, then mask over that and spray the gold lace, if that makes sense. I'll go over it again in my head as I'm doing it, but I think that's the correct pattern that I do it. And then once all that's done, peel it all and double check it and stuff like that. But let's for the time being, we don't get too far ahead of ourselves. We will jump into masking the white. Okay, I've done one coat of the silver glitter. It's not even really paint. It's more like glitter suspended in glue. Kind of like it's cool, but as for how it's gonna dry and how it's gonna work, I really don't know. But like, it's super glittery. You can't really pick it. Well, you can see it on the camera a little bit, but like, it's way more glittery in person. I guess if I was smart, I would have done a little test piece first to see what it's like and how it dries and all that, but I didn't actually think of it. Now, don't get me wrong, it looks cool. It looks really nice. The effect is very cool. So I'm in two minds as to what to do about unmasking. Now, I think what I'll do is unmask the two ends of the tank and just see how easily it peels off. And fingers crossed it peels off okay, but I'd say I'd be best off to leave that probably till tomorrow before I try to mask any of that, or at least for a couple of hours anyway, but probably tomorrow, I'd say. But let's unmask it and see what happens. Well, at least if the tank's not shiny and glittery, at least I will be. No, it actually came out pretty good. There's a very distinct part. Like, I should have gone a little bit heavier in some patches, but no, it's fine. I quite like it. Obviously it's not like metal flake as such, like, but I do like it for sure. I should have gone a touch heavier on the back as well. Like I said, like you can see there's more dense flake there, and then it's a little lighter down here, but again, this is the back, so it doesn't really matter. It unmasked fine, same as anything else. The only thing I'm a bit pissed off about, but I kind of knew this was going to happen, is you can see the tape is leaving a lot of marks and stuff in the white. As I know the light's making the phone flicker there, but you can see what I mean. Like, there's a lot of shitty marks from the tape and stuff there, and a few little bits down, well, quite a bit there, like, but I think it's because that tape, I'm not going to use that again. It's too sticky. The 3M stuff is an awful lot better. But hopefully when I put some lacquer over it, it'll hide, you know, it won't hide all of it obviously, but like, there's going to be gold glitter and lace pattern going on that section and a couple of sections up there anyway, so not going to be too big of an issue. There won't be a massive amount of white that it'll look obvious that has a couple of wrinkles or whatever in it, and even if it does, lacquer will level it out a little bit. So I think best thing is to let that stuff dry overnight. It's getting pretty late in the evening anyway, so we'll be back in the morning. Morning, back for day 2. So, moment of truth, let's see how this stuff has dried up. Oh yeah, fine. I thought it might be a little tacky still, or like feel like it was gluey, but it's not. A relatively smooth texture to it. A little kind of gritty in a couple of spots, but yeah, I guess it depends on how heavy you go with it. But yeah, okay, seems pretty good. I'm thinking of doing a really rough bit of masking and just going a little bit heavier at the back there, just so there's a bit more flake in it. But again, it's at the back, so it's probably not that important. But what I think I'm going to do, yeah, it kind of needs a little bit just there. Yeah, so maybe I will Maybe we'll in a bit there. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So, or I might do it at the end or something like that. But yeah, pleased enough. Oh shit! Look, it's disappointing. I'll be able to give that a little touch or something. Right. So next is we'll do a clean up first because there's scraps of tape and shit everywhere. Do a clean up and then I guess I'll start figuring out the lace pattern. That'll be pretty fun. We're masked up. Kind of a pain in the ass to figure out how to mask it, but we got it done anyway. So gonna be a lot of gold there, and the lace pattern comes around to the back there. I have it masked off as much as I think I need. We'll tidy that little bit up there in a second. So a little touch, get it out of the way. Not too concerned about it being perfect here at the back. It's more so from there forward, I guess, that I want it to look good. Now I tried a test pattern on this. I've done it, like I said, I've never done lace before, so I tried it with the black. You can see there it gives the same effect, or a cool effect to me. On the gold, I mean, you can't really see it there. I tried it a little bit on the other side, maybe a bit easier to see in the sun, but it just, I don't know, it doesn't look as good. Now that's literally just one coat, so maybe if I put more on it, it might give more of an effect. I don't know. So I don't know, I get the feeling this mightn't work out, to be brutally honest. So this might be a shit show, I don't know. So I guess the only way to find out really is just to do it. Worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, I'll just pull the lace off and just do those sections gold, just in the metal flake gold. It'll still look good, but just the lace was kind of the whole point behind this whole idea. But I guess it's time to find out. First coat is on. I just decided fuck it and just went heavy with it, because like I said, that stuff is kind of like glue, and I guess it turns out there's actually very little in the can because it's nearly fucking empty already. It's a little bit light across there, so I might give it one quick go like that. I was going to unmask it, but it occurs to me then that because that stuff is kind of like glue and I have that taped in a bunch of places, if I move that lace while it's wet, obviously it's going to deform, and you know, potentially if this works out and the pattern looks good, it's going to deform it. So I'm going to leave it for, it says on the back of the can 20 minutes to touch dry, or to dry, an hour till it's touch dry. So we'll give it to 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, and try and unmask it then and see what happens, I guess. Hope for the best. So let's wait around for a while. Okay, we're back. After that interesting little interlude, I have to admit, right, I gotta be honest, I unmasked, I waited about half an hour, maybe 35 minutes, and I unmasked the lace off camera, just in case it turned out shit and like looked stupid, and I was just gonna say, oh no, I changed my mind, blah blah blah. But I've unmasked it now and it's way better. It's not perfect, but it's way better than what I was expecting. So let me show you. Came out an awful lot better than I expected. Like, it's not perfect by any means, you know, there could always be a little bit more detail and stuff in it, like, but when you look at it from a distance there, like through the on the screen, it looks fantastic. I'm very, very pleased. The back looks good. I did miss a little corner just there, but I think it's kind of part of the pattern as well. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I think it looks really good. I'm a lot happier with it than I expected, to be totally honest. I really am. So I'm gonna let it sit for another, maybe I'd say 15 or 20 minutes. I really don't think, see what happened was, I bought the silver and I bought the gold, but I went to use, this is the one that you would have seen earlier in the video, and I don't know what's up with it, but look, it just pisses out of it. So, and also, if you can hear, it's like there's no pressure in the can. So I went to the I got that in the city. So I went to the hardware locally and got that one this morning. It's only like 5 minutes from my house, but they only had the one. So I don't think there's going to be enough to do both ends of the tank, but I'm going to give it a try. Worst case scenario, I can leave it overnight and I can go and get another can of the glitter in the hardware in the city in the morning. Or I suppose I could go in today, but it's the guts of an hour. It's 20 minutes into town, 15 minutes in there, 20 minutes back home, about an hour wasted. But we'll see. But I'm gonna let that sit for another while before I unmask any more of it. I'm way more pleased with it than I thought. Unmasked the lace and the rest of the yellow paint, or the yellow tape, I mean. God, I love it. It's a lot harder, or a lot easier. Like, it looks better from a distance, if that makes sense. Yeah, it looks really cool. I'm very pleased with it. So like I said, if you're going to be looking at the car from that angle, or looking in at that angle, I think it's perfect. So I'm not really sure where to go from here. Like I said, I really don't think I'm going to have enough left in that can to do lace and all that as well. So I think what I might do is just mask up from here back and here, like from that line to that line, mask up all that, and then just, especially on this end, because that's the end that you'll see, just do the gold glitter in that section there, and whatever might be left, or once I'm satisfied with that, whatever I can get away with there, because that corner will always be in out of the way a little bit. But I mean, overall it's coming out really nice. I'm very pleased with the progress so far. So we've got the silver glitter along there, silver glitter, lace pattern gold glitter, and obviously we're going to have the blackout and stuff like that, a bit more gold and a bit more gold there. So the next thing, I'm going to see if I can work out a way to, let me explain this, because I don't think this is going to work, but let's say for argument's sake, right, let me get one of the other pieces of lace. So if I, now we're going to do this kind of loosely, right, so you'll have to bear with me. If I drape that over there, right, again, let's say we're kind of from this angle looking at the car, and I can get it relatively to, oh maybe, yeah, see, it'd look okay there, but it's going to be very hard to get it to look nice here, especially A, because it curves, but B, because these fucking things are in the way. So I might just forget about the lace there and go with, like I was saying, just the gold on those two back sections. I could try and do a lace maybe there. Yeah, that mightn't be a bad idea, but again, it'll depend on how much I have left. So yeah, let's go. I'll make a decision and we'll see. Right, I didn't bother with the lace pattern, just it was too much hassle to try and get it to sit right. So I just went for gold at that end, gold at that end. I ran out of the excuse me, I ran out of the glitter, which I had a feeling would happen. So, but again, I think it'll be okay. It's a little bit too, you can see it's kind of blotchy there, but I think once the, yeah, it's very light at the end. I might have to go and get another can of that tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'm gonna shake the shit out of this and see, can I get anything else out? Nah, fully empty. Well, that's not too bad. I'm kind of hoping that when it dries, that kind of blotchy, see the way it's all lumpy and bumpy there, the kind of glue stuff, for want of a better word, will even out a little bit. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. That side is definitely a bit more even. Fuck it, will I just go and get another can of that? But it means going all the way to the city, like I said. I don't know, I'll think about it and I'll come back. Oh, that's more like it, I think. I ended up biting the bullet and just going into the city and getting another can. So a little bit lighter there because obviously, as I keep saying, you'll be looking at it that way. Maybe a little bit light here, just I had a lot of kind of runs up here, so I was kind of trying to even it out. But I don't know, I might put a quick little mask there, literally just my hand and a little blast there. But overall, I think it looks brilliant. Very, very happy with it. So I'll leave that alone for at least an hour, maybe even overnight, I haven't decided, and then unmask everything, and then we'll take a look. But so far, yeah, very, very cool. Obviously the back's not as you can see what I'm saying about the clumps there. It's just, I guess there's nothing you can do about it really, because it's like the kind of gluey stuff. This side is much smoother, but I wasn't going wiping all of that off and starting all over again, you know. I really like the back. It's kind of a shame you'll never see it, but it is what it is. Right, let's leave that alone for an hour. We'll tidy up the shed, a lot of little bits of paper on the ground, and then yeah, we might come back and unmask it today. If not, it'll be tomorrow. Okay, look, full disclosure, I fucked it up. I had to start again. Not getting too deep into it. Fucked up this side. Had to scour the town, found the last 2 cans in the city of that fucking stuff. Masked it again, redone this side, and just whatever it dries up as in the morning, that's it. It is what it is. I'm not going at it again. I really don't have the time because we've got a show on Sunday. It's now Monday evening. This side looks beautiful, really nice and uniform, lovely and sparkly. This side, for whatever reason, the paint just runs. I don't know, maybe it's a prep thing, I don't know. But either way, it's just going to be whatever it is. So hopefully, like I said earlier, a lot of those smudges and kind of runs will disappear out of it when the glue stuff or whatever kind of membrane the glitter is in dissolves away. But yeah, we're going to see what it turns out like in the morning. Right, back again, day 3. I couldn't resist the temptation last night and I ended up unmasking the whole thing just to see how it turned out. And as you've seen in the clip, I'm super, super happy with it. I think it looks absolutely stunning. The only thing I wish I had done a little differently is I wish, instead of unmasking it a couple of hours after spraying it, after I fixed it, I kind of wish I had done it straight away. But I was afraid if I unmasked it straight away, that because it's like a glue kind of stuff, like I've said before, that would like stretch. When I pull the tape, it would stretch up, you know, like, and it would ruin the whole thing. So I unmasked it a couple hours later. There was about 4 or 5 hours between the clips that you saw and when it was repaired. So the only thing that did happen is, it's not a problem as such, but it did leave quite a, it's kind of, okay, it's not as hard to tell or as easy to tell on camera, but you can see the side there, it's just kind of lifted a little bit of the glitter and the paint. It lifted a tiny bit just there, a little bit. You can see a bit of the gold. It's very difficult to see, I guess. Yeah, okay, you can see the shadow over there. You can see a bit kind of just sticking up. Now, it's not bad. Again, from look this far away, you're not going to see any of that. It's absolutely fine. There's a couple of little spots where when I was unmasking it, got a little bit of like overspray, tiny bit of overspray there, tiny little bit of damage there, bit of overspray there, but I knew that tape had wrinkled up on itself, so I knew that was going to happen. Little bit there, but that's all on like the far side of the tank. Tiny little bit there. There's a couple of little lines from the masking tape. The back turned out really nice. Little spot there. I don't know how the fuck I missed that, but that's in a corner you can't see anyway. Excuse me. Once it's in the car, the back turned out lovely. A little bit of overspray and a bit of damage, well, not damage, but just where the tape wasn't great there. But overall, I'm really pleased with the whole thing. You can see the shape of the glue run or whatever there now. Last night that was really tacky and squishy. It's okay now. Yeah, it's okay. In the camera it looks an awful lot more patchy, like it looks like there's a lot of big light patches there, but to the eye you can't even really see it, to be honest. So now, like the silver, it is gritty, for want of a better word, like a texture. This side is way smoother. I don't know why that side just gave me so much hassle, but look, it is what it is. So the next thing to do now is to put a whole fucking can of clear coat on top of it, as many coats as I can get out of it, whether that's 3, 4, 5, 6, I have no idea. Last time I clear coated the tank when it was painted white, I think I got 5 coats out of the white. The only thing is, if you look outside, exactly, a shit day to be clearing stuff. So it's kind of the last chance. I have a couple of hours tomorrow, but my oldest kid has finished school today, so they'll be here all day tomorrow. And then we have the show on Sunday and work on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it's kind of a case of now or never. So I think I'm going to take it, throw the tank in the back of the wagon, clear up the shed, get rid of a lot of as much kind of overspray and shit and stuff as I can, or dust and all the glitter particles and stuff like that out of the way, and then clear it, check the directions. Like, for example, if it says that it's or like flashes off in 20 minutes at, let's say, 20 degrees, and I think today is 10 degrees, then I'll leave it for double that or something like that. But let's see what happens. So there it is, finished up and back in the car. Got 6 coats of lacquer altogether. I'm not going to bother trying to buff it just because that glitter paint is a little too textured. Even with that much lacquer on it, you can still kind of feel it through it a little bit, so I'd be afraid to just lift it all off it if you tried to buff it. So looks plenty shiny as it is. It's absolutely fine. A lot of fun doing it. I'd never done that like that before, but looked pretty good to me. So yeah, I imagine it's probably quite a long video by now, so thanks if you've stuck through it the whole way this far. If you actually, you know what, just for fun, right, if you've watched this the whole way through, put like a little crown emoji or something like that in the comments, just for fun, just so we see how many people watched it the whole way through. But yeah, if you have any questions about the process or anything like that, let me know in the comments as well. I'll put links down in the box there for everything that I used. And other than that, we'll keep it moving and we'll see you next time. We're out.